Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Sew More at 4. Today I'm going to show you guys how to apply lace to any project. So I went ahead and did something very simple, and I applied it to this pencil skirt design. Now if you missed it last week, the lace that I'm using I actually made on one of our embroidery machines downstairs, and I used this Zunt lace design trims, and this is the second CD in the collection. So it's got ones where there is detailing on the top and the bottom, or there's ones for just like your bottom piece, like I have here. And the ones that I used look like this. This is the one in my center section. And then this is what I used on the bottom there. These collections also have another one, the Zunt Lace Designs 1, that has some bigger designs in it. If you guys can kind of see that. And I got this idea from that Fine Machine sewing book that looks like this. This has a bunch of great information in it. One of the things that I kind of clung on to because it's a new technique that I haven't done before is called Entredeux. And that basically just means that you are sewing lace or some kind of decorative piece in between two other layers or two other sections of fabric. So that is what I did on this skirt. You guys can see right here. This is a layer of lace, and then I've just got my top piece and my middle piece of my skirt. Now what I used to make this a lot easier after I had my lace is I used this number 10 C-foot because I was stitching it on the Bernina. And I'll show you guys what that looks like, and what makes it easier is it's got this little guide kind of in the center here. So you can put your fabric up to the edge of this, or you can have this on top of a seam and guide it forward. If you have a baby lock, you can do the same thing with the edge joining foot. And this will work on your low shank or your high shank machines, so it shouldn't matter which one you have, and you can do the exact same thing that you could on these Berninas. So it doesn't really matter what machine you have, both of them are capable of doing this technique. If you don't have a normal sewing machine, or if you choose you want to do this on your serger, that is also an option. You'll just want to make sure that you have the right stitch length, right stitch width, that you're not really cutting off any of the lace, you're just going right along the edge of it. And something that's going to help you do that, especially if you happen to have a baby lock serger that has 4 threads, you can use this lace applicator foot. So it's got this little channel so that you can guide your fabric and the lace along it, and that's going to keep you from cutting off your lace. And like I said, I used the number 10 C-foot because it gave me the guide in the middle there and allowed me to move my needle position to exactly where I needed it so I could sew in the channel of the lace. And it's a little difficult to see here, but along these outside edges and even on the top edge of the lace here, there's actually 2 lines of stitching. And you can kind of tell that there's a channel in the middle there. So that's what I used as my guide for my needle position, is stitching in that little channel so that whenever I flipped my fabric, I had a smooth edge and then I top stitched it so it would stay in place really nice and easy. These edge stitching feet make it super helpful and a lot easier to do this project. If I had used a normal foot, it would be a lot harder for me to just kind of line things up and keep everything straight. So these are kind of a lifesaver if you want to do these projects and make them nice and consistent. Just like if you wanted to do this quilt behind me, we haven't actually quilted this yet. So if you wanted to do, say, Stitch in the Ditch, these feet are really great because it has that little guide, and you can actually position this so it goes in the grooves of that stitch, and you'll just line up your needle position in the middle so everything will be exactly in the same spot. And this quilt behind me is actually this little Blueberry Hill design that we have, and we decided to do Tula Pink fabric with it. And we used this cute little jelly roll bundle that has 40 strips, so there's 40 different sets in here, and you can kind of see all the different fun colors as you go around. And you only need 40 strips for this project, so it's the exact amount that you need, and it's got all of the instructions for you to be able to cut it and line things up. And then if you feel like doing stitch in the ditch for your quilting, you can use your edging feet and do it super easy and super fast. So that's what I have for Sew More at 4 on how you can apply your lace and do your edge stitching. So hope you guys enjoy. We will see you again tomorrow.